Hi, this is Esther from Ravi Star Jewelry Company. This is my first video. I'm really excited to show you this tutorial on how to make a pair of earrings out of the beads from either a broken bracelet or a bracelet that's about to break. So I'm gonna first start with what you're gonna need. People use these multi-loopers and they're great, but for this, I'm gonna try to use the regular round looper. These are pliers, by the way. And then this bent nose plier. So those are the pliers I'm going to be using. I'm going to actually break this open with scissors, the actual bracelet, and I'll show you that and how I do it. I'm using flat head wires. And you can get these in pretty much everything that's here. You can get at Michael's or Amazon. And these are stainless steel ear wires because we're going to be making earrings. So the first thing that you do, by the way, pardon my hands, I have an injury. I've been working with metal, so pardon my hands. But so here's what's going on. It might last a bit, but I'm thinking this is gonna fall apart. And so the way that I do this is I actually this is kind of like a life hack so that the beads don't fly everywhere. I put them in the plastic bag and I make the cut, if possible, still in the plastic bag. So that way it minimizes the beads flying everywhere. You can actually see, yeah, okay, it really was on his last leg. I wasn't lying because that's all it took. And elastic's actually pretty strong. It can withstand several pounds of resistance and pushing against it. So this really was not doing so great. So as you can see, the bag helps to catch the beads with minimal effort. And there's just a couple left. I don't really need them, but and then get rid of the old growth thread. You get rid of that. You don't need it. So I'm actually going to move this step to the side so I can get going with the actual tutorial. And these are the beads. I know the string's kind of gross, but you can see how beautiful they are and why I chose this specific type of vintage bead. They're like this pretty fruit punch glass, almost crystalline, kind of texture, and they attract light, and it's candy summer. I love these beads. These are cool. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them, but maybe I'll do something with them later. They've got 2 holes, so I'm thinking bracelet. You don't really have that many options. Okay, so let's get some of these beautiful beads out here so you can see them shimmer on the white background. I feel like my hand looks like an aardvark right now. So I think I'll probably need 8. And I'm going to separate those out. And so this is also a great way to help create less waste by using things that are broken can be made into something else. I'm thinking that's how many I'm going to need, maybe a little less. Step 1 is to take the wire, which I don't know where I put. Oh, right here. Sorry guys. Right here, you take the wire. So the first thing is the hole going to be too large for the wire? I've used these type of beads before, so that's probably not going to happen, so we'll give it a go. Okay, and so that's great. So if you see that the bead doesn't fit on the wire, my suggestion is to get a small spacer, and that way you can still use that cool bead. And so you just fill up the wire until a certain point so that you can make that loop. And there's various methods for making the loop. And this is glass, so it's delicate. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a plier. This is about how much is left. I tend to like a little bit more, but if I take this one out, the loop is going to be way bigger. So the way that I do it, and there's definitely different methods, is I'm going to take my plier and I'm going to bend it. And you want this to bend all the way back. And sometimes I do it with my hands, which I shouldn't do, but it helps me get that extra bend. So now it's bent. And don't worry if it's not perfect. It's taken me quite a while to get it to be like this. So don't worry. I'm actually wondering if Ah, that's so much better, right? But it's messing with my like being able to see, so that's not gonna work. Okay, so the next thing you do after this is completely bent, these might nick a bit because it is glass. I'm guessing it's from the 70s or 80s. And so what you do is you take it, edge of the looper, round nosed plier, and you bring it around. And I've just recently started bringing it around this way just because I feel like it's easier. And then you kind of like fix. So right now it's not completely closed. So I'm gonna do this and keep working on it. I actually have to look at it off the camera, make sure. Okay, so this works for me. See, there's not a lot of give, but that's okay, that's not a problem. And so here you've got your first one. Now we're gonna do the second one. Same exact thing, except it looks like I need a couple more beads. So 2 more. And again, these are my favorite type of bead. They're vintage glass. I mean, they might be crystal, I don't know. It's hard to tell, but they're beautiful. I love the shimmer and the color. You don't see this color very often. So you do the same thing. So it's the same process times 2 to make a pair of earrings. Cool, all right. So I'm actually, because I know you shouldn't do it with your hands, they tell you to do it with the plier, but I'm at the point where I'm comfortable bending it. And then what I'm gonna do is instead show you this plier, even though I lied, I said I was just gonna do it the other one to show you kind of like the process. So you go like this and you go around. But I noticed with the looper, it's actually hard to because it's so custom, to get it back in and give. And so even when I use this one, oftentimes, that looks really good, but often, I just want to make sure that the goal with this is to make sure it's closed completely so it doesn't fall off the ear wire. You want it to be nice and closed up. So mine is still a little bit open. And that to me is looking good. So now you have the 2 to make the earrings. We're almost there. What you're gonna wanna do is take the ear wire. Now there are people that actually put the ear wire in as they're doing the loop. I have a hard time with that, so I prefer to do it second. And so what you do is you take this, and it's hard to explain, but the one that is open is like facing the end of it, and so that's how I remember that, because it gets a little tricky. And then you just put the earring loop onto the ear wire loop and you close it up. And this I definitely do. I might push on it to put pressure on it after, but this I think is near impossible to do it with your hands. So here's one. We are almost done. Yes, that rhymed. And so we're gonna do the second one. Okay, there we go. Oopa, this is exciting. Okay, so there's the second one. Oopa. Don't worry, sometimes I'm shaky. You just take your time. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to break stuff. Just be mindful you don't get hurt like I did. Okay, so I feel like this needs a little bit more closure. And so you're just trying to close all those loops up. So this one's giving me a little trouble. And that happens. Go one more time. Okay, so all right, not too bad. I might want to tighten that up a little bit later. Let me see if I can get these on the stand for you. See what we came up with that old broken necklace. That old broken bracelet. You can tell I'm like new at this. Okay, look at that. this was something that was breaking, that nobody was doing anything with for probably decades. And here you've got this really beautiful, fun pair of earrings. So that's my demonstration. I'm just going to show again the equipment that I used, or the materials, or the tools. These are my pliers. You can get all of these on Amazon or at Michael's. Bent nose plier, round nose plier, looper, scissors to cut even though I didn't need it, the wires. This is a 2-inch silver tone wire. These are stainless steel ear wires. And I think that's it. One more time. Okay, I hope you enjoy this tutorial, and there will definitely be more to come. I wish all of you a wonderful day, and thanks for watching. Have a great one.